Did Navy SEAL James Reece hallucinate the entire mission? Or is a shadowy conspiracy targeting him and his family? Today, we're diving into the explosive thriller, The Terminal List movie recap. Was Reece's platoon indeed ambushed, or was it a setup? The entire story answers your burning questions and reveals the shocking truth behind the Terminal List. The tale begins with Gideon, a leader in the Bible. He seeks warriors for a battle and observes how his men drink from a river. Those who sprawl on their bellies, drinking like animals, are cast aside. He chooses the vigilant ones, who drink cautiously while keeping watch, spears in hand. These are the men he needs, focused and alert. Lieutenant James Reece, a decorated Navy SEAL, leads Alpha Platoon. They chase a dangerous terrorist, Kahani, developing chemical weapons in Syria. An ambush traps them, leaving Reece and his trusted comrade, Boozer, the sole survivors. Back home, authorities question Reece. They blame a soldier named Donnie for panicking and causing an explosion, but fragmented memories plague Reece. He believes their Syrian contact, not Donnie, triggered the explosion. He suspects a setup, a manipulated operation. Without proof, he's left empty-handed. Returning to his family, Reece is soon hit with another blow. Boozer, according to authorities, committed suicide. Reece, certain Boozer wouldn't take his own life, delves deeper. He seeks help from a reporter, Katie Burke. Their meeting sparks a realization his mind might be betraying him. He undergoes a brain scan, only to be attacked by masked figures wielding his weapon. He fights back, killing one attacker. Gripped by fear, he races home, only to find his wife and daughter brutally murdered. The story ends with a grief-stricken Reece burying his family. Memory lapse and a new threat. Reece approaches Admiral Pillar to clarify his earlier statement about Donnie, admitting his memory was compromised. He suspects Kahani is targeting Navy SEALs, but fails to convince Pillar. That night, Katie visits Reece with unsettling news. No evidence supports his claim of fighting attackers at the clinic. Furthermore, NCIS agent Josh Holder, assigned to Reece's case, was the first to arrive at the scene. Undercover or underhanded, Reece suspects Holder is a Kahani mole and puts him at the top of his suspect list. He teams up with his old friend Ben, a CIA officer, to steal data from Holder's computer. News breaks of H being killed during a military operation to find Kahani. Digging deeper. Determined to find answers, Reece breaks into Holder's house. The man he fought must have a left arm wound, but Holder shows no signs. Pressing Holder, the agent reveals he looked into Reece's past for a mysterious figure named Saul Agnan, who paid him. A struggle ensues, and Reece is forced to kill Holder. Investigating further, Reece discovers Saul works for Capstone Industries as an asset manager. He shares his findings with Katie, who reveals she obtained his brain scan from the clinic. Shockingly, it shows a tumor, likely causing his memory issues. Assassin and revelation. While discussing the scan, Reece spots a hidden assassin and outsmarts him, leading to a deadly shootout, closing in on the target. With Ben's help, Reece and Ben capture Saul. They learn Capstan hired Mexican assassins through a black market lawyer named Boyin. Saul's boss, Stephen Horn, is working on a project called RD 4895, but details are restricted. Reece discovers Stephen used powerful connections to trap him and his team in Syria. He injects Saul with a lethal dose and informs Ben of his plan to target Boyin, determined to find the mastermind behind his family's murder. Haunted by revenge. Driven by the brutal murder of his family, Reece embarks on a relentless quest for vengeance. He becomes a ghost, scaling a mountain to snipe the man responsible, Boykin. Stealing encrypted data, Reece learns the identity of his family's actual killer, a hidden figure known as El Sario. Meanwhile, Reece's sister, Katie, seeks refuge with her brother's family. However, she uncovers a sinister plot. Steve Horn's company is developing a dangerous cognitive enhancer for the military, potentially linked to the deaths of soldiers. Reuniting with his allies, Ben, Liz, and Marco, Reece sets his sights on El Sario. He infiltrates a cartel training ground, a deadly gauntlet, leading him to his target. In a brutal climax, Reece confronts El Sario, enacting a bloody revenge. Back in the US, Reece faces another threat, The FBI, led by Lon and Wilson, suspect him in Saul's drug-related death. Meanwhile, Katie confronts Dr. Tedesco, suspecting his creation, RD-4895, is linked to the military deaths. Tedesco reveals Horn-rushed human trials, potentially on those soldiers. Just as he provides crucial information, Horn's assassins silence him. Reece, tailing Katie, retrieves data revealing Horn's conspiracy with high-ranking officials, including Admiral Pillar. In a showdown, Reece sabotages Horn's operation, creating chaos. Reece eliminates Horn's security and confronts the corrupt businessman, but the FBI arrives. A desperate chase ensues. Injured, Reece evades capture by using the mountains to his advantage. With the FBI and a military unit closing in, Reece uses a cunning ambush to steal supplies and vanish into the storm. Lan, determined to bring Reece in, contacts him over the radio. Reece, fueled by an unwavering purpose, declares his quest won't end until justice prevails. He is forever changed by loss, a relentless force seeking redemption, escape, and revelation. Days later, Reece downs another drone sent by the Scout Unit, his pursuers. Though they now have his location, a hidden advantage plays into his hands. He stumbles upon explosives hidden in the stolen backpack and cleverly buries them. When the Scout Unit and FBI agents close in, unaware of his plan, Reece detonates the explosives, creating a chaotic diversion. He seizes the opportunity to escape once again. Meanwhile, Liz patches him up and flies him to safety on her plane. Ben recovers Reece at a pre-arranged beach rendezvous. Reunited, they discuss their next move. The investigation has revealed the involvement of Commander Cox and Captain Howard in the Syrian cover-up. Since Admiral Pillar rarely leaves his base, they first target Cox and Howard. Katie's pursuit. Katie confided everything she knew at the news station to investigative reporter Lon. He delves into the case, discovering a shocking truth. The drug test order originated from the Pentagon, and Secretary of Defense Lorraine Hartley knew it all. However, pressure from above forces Lan to back down. Undeterred, he advises Katie to write her story and expose the truth. Twisted justice, Reece and Ben abduct Cox, Howard, and his family. In a desperate move, Reece drowns Cox, leaving Howard with a chilling choice: sacrifice himself to save his family. Howard, crushed, agrees. Outfitted with an explosive vest, he's sent into Pillar's office. Reece triggers the detonator, killing both Howard and Pillar in the blast. Silenced. Truth fueled by determination, Katie submits her expose. However, Secretary Hartley ruthlessly suppresses her story, ensuring the truth never reaches the public. This rewrite condenses the story, enhances character motivations, and adds a touch of suspense. It also clarifies the fate of Katie's investigation. Hartley confronts and confesses. Hartley confronts Katie in the library, criticizing her story for factual errors. She offers herself for an interview, hoping to clarify the truth and clear her name. In a private conversation, Hartley admits to approving the experimental drug RD-4895 to help soldiers with trauma. However, she claims ignorance about the drug causing tumors and denies any involvement in a cover-up or the team's death. She blames Horn for orchestrating the Alpha Platoon's demise to hide the scandal. Believing Hartley's story, Katie allows her to publish it. Doubt and discovery. Upon reflection, Katie detects inconsistencies in Hartley's confession. A second interview forces Hartley to admit she knew everything from the start. Meanwhile, Reece and Ben eliminate Hartley's security, leaving her exposed. Facing potential exposure or death, Hartley takes her own life, unearthing the truth. Weeks later, Katie discovered Oberon Analytics, a company linked to Horn, had received a payment from a Peruvian bank. Sharing this information with Reece, they realize Ben, who dreamt of retiring in Peru, might be involved. They connect the dots. The false information triggering the Syrian operation originated from the CIA. The final stand heartbroken, Reece concludes Ben is the final target. They confront each other. Ben claims Admiral Horn convinced him Reece's team wouldn't survive the tumors anyway. Reece confronts him about the $20 million payment. Ben admits the money swayed him, but he regretted it ever since and never touched it. He apologizes and urges Reece to complete his list. Unforgiving, Reece kills his former friend, achieving his vengeance. That's all the intel I have for you on the terminal list. Was it a mission accomplished or a total dud? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want to stay locked and loaded for more movie recaps, hit that subscribe button and smash the notification bell.